Hey guys, another early morning and it's dark outside, as you can see. Still Christmas week, I'll call it Christmas week. It's the 4th day after Christmas. I think it was Sunday Christmas, so today's Friday, 5th day after Christmas. I'm actually on another route. During Christmas time they mix the routes up to sort of schedule everything. You don't necessarily get the route that you're actually on. I'm a 47 driver. Today I'm actually doing a 124, which is a single decker bus. Single decker, and it's single door, about 30 feet long, maybe. Probably just a bit longer than the Route Master, the old Route Master. It's quite a nice bus. We have two types of buses on that route. There's an Enviro 200 and I think there's a newer Enviro 200, a stop start. And it's the first one, very bouncy, the suspension, and there's a lot of humps on this route. And the second bus, it's got stiffer suspension, so you kind of get a better ride, better for the passengers also. Yeah, talking about passenger comfort, that bus you literally got to drive it in a very conscious way. You've got to be conscious of your braking, because the braking is much harsher on the smaller buses. Except for the newer one. The newer one seems to have the braking is not so harsh. I think you got to sometimes push your foot down a bit harder to get that bus to stop. So, you know, it's part of the job. You got to sort of adjust yourself to these different vehicles. You might get two vehicles throughout the day, two types of vehicles. Anyway, I better get going because I've only got about 20 minutes to get to the garage. Its roads are empty, so I should get there in good time. Allocations, I'm on my way. Yes, I'm here again. It's Friday and I'm doing a 124, as I said. Single decker, single door. Yep. It's kind of windy. You're probably gonna mess up my sound a little bit. But yeah, another day. This little walking between these buses seems like I'm going into another time. Back to the future. When I was a new driver, I didn't really like the 124. I used to live near the actual route, or within the route, or very close to the route. But one of the reasons I didn't like it is the fact that the buses that I was driving just keep bouncing about, and some of the roads are really rough, and so the bus is quite noisy. Hey man. Yeah, we normally look at the notices because I'm on the 124 today. I've got to find out where the 124 notices are. It's quite hard to read because there's so much information. Oh, here it is, 124. Each route has a spokesman, and 124 spokesman is this guy here, Suji. I think I'm saying it right. I'm looking out for any diversions or any areas where there's a lot of accidents. It's a code for the toilet. There's a toilet there. 17029. I need to write that down. 17029. C17029. I can't see there's anything going on like diversions, so it should be okay to go straight out. The code is C170. I forgot it already. I've got to go back and check. 17009, 17029, I think it was. Okay, let me check. Okay, I've checked the run out board. I'm leaving 16. I'm going to check it. 608. That's there, which is 608. Which is 608, yeah. 532, CP's car park. Go to the car park. Oops, let's get my bag. Car park's through here. It's called a car park because it was a car park. They still use it as a car park, but it wasn't used for buses until we got more routes and we had no space to put the buses. every time a company wins a route, they've got to find space for that route, you know, because there's extra buses. And so, yeah, it must be a difficult thing for the directors or company managers to manage all of this space. This garage itself is actually over 150 years old. I think it's a listed building. I think that means they can't really knock it down or do certain things to it. I think there's my bus there, 535. So these are all single deckers back here. All single deckers. Yeah, it's a bit darker with the wider thing. Pretty dark round, as you can tell. I'm gonna double check this is the right bus, because you can check by, oh, there's no running number in there. Just double check. Yeah, the wrong bus is this one. 164 is the running number. So, should be this one. Single decker checks are much quicker. Yeah, I'm just doing my for my channel.
Oh, okay. Wow.
If your face come at you, do you mind? You might, yeah. It's alright, yeah, it's okay. I'm just, some people don't mind, so to get them, because it makes it a bit interesting. Realize I'm not working on my own. You don't want to be famous then? Yeah, just arrived at South End Crescent, which is in Eltham. That's the end of the 124 route. So the route starts from, it's Catford to Eltham, Catford St Dunstan's College, it's a school, to South End Crescent, which is right here. Just came through the high street. Got here at 6:59. Let's put Eltham. The log card is very important. It's a legal document. I've got to fill out this actually. I was supposed to do it this morning. I was supposed to do it before I left. 1305. That's a duty. Date is 30th of the 12th, 22. Running number is 164. And the bus number is on here, the fleet number. Normally it's up there officially, 36532. 36532. Oops, done it the wrong place. Supposed to be here. 365. Whoops. 36532. I made a mistake and stuck it in the wrong place. So I might have to redo my card later. So I'll do a quick walk around. Obviously with a single decker bus, it's a bit quicker than doing it on double decker. There's a lot of there's disadvantages and the advantages and disadvantages of operating a single decker bus. Single decker bus obviously is just, and single door, you get less people come on the bus, and some people say you do less work because obviously you got less traffic or less, you know, passengers or whatever. The single door also has the ramp there, and that is, you just have to pull up. Wherever you pull up on a single door, that's where the people's going to get off. With a double door, you got to be thinking about where the exit door is going to be lined up with. Sometimes you have a lamppost or something that is blocking people getting out, especially if you've got a wheelchair or buggy. You have to be really mindful, but it's very difficult to line it sometimes. I have a mental image of the length from the front door to the exit door, and when I line up the front door, I know exactly roughly where the exit door will end up. But it's not always easy to line up. It's not always easy, and sometimes I get it wrong. Yesterday I got it wrong on a 47. I was next to a tree, and the woman in a buggy couldn't actually get off. So I told her to come to the front, and I lowered the bus and she got off at the front, because there was a bus in front of me. So I thought it'd be quicker to do that rather than moving the bus up, and that's what I did. So obviously this check is very quick. Look at that. The bus is, I'm not too sure of the length of this bus. Doesn't say. The height is 9 feet 5 inches. Anyway, we'll do a quick check on this. Oops. Yeah, these buses that are on a Midi, they're Midi buses. They're a bit shorter and they're a bit smaller, obviously. The width is not much different to a double decker. But with these, the reason why we have these in London is that over the years, passengers have petitioned for different routes to come around to the more local roads, the smaller roads. And so these buses are actually designed to go in the back streets, and so it gives a good service to people that don't want to get off of the main road and walk all the way to their house, because these buses drop you outside your house. I mean, not if you're lucky, it might drop outside your door, but it gets closer to the actual passengers where they live in, and it provides an extra service. We take it for granted now here in London that we have all these Midi buses that go around the back streets. And for a Midi bus driver, there's another set of skills that you need, because you're going through tight roads sometimes. I'm just checking my time because I'm talking. I don't even know when I'm going out. 7:09. Oh yeah, I've got about 5 minutes. So yeah, for a Midi bus driver, there's another set of skills. You have to be a lot more careful with the passengers, because the buses, these single deckers, they've got quite a big engine for the size of the body. So the bus is much lighter, but the engine's quite powerful. When the passengers come on these buses, all you have to do is release your foot off the throttle, off the brakes, and the bus will start moving forward. Where with some of the double deckers, the bus don't move forward so easily, so there's less chances of the passengers falling over. But with a single decker, if the passenger's not holding on, you can feel the force of the bus much more. The reason I know that, because I'm a passenger also. I don't just drive buses. I travel on buses, so I know when a bus driver is driving for the passengers and when he's driving just to get from A to B. You know, as a passenger, you know when a driver's just rushing and a driver is just not have no regard for the passengers. You know that. That's talking as a passenger now. And sometimes the driver might not know. He might not actually know that the passengers feeling the force of the bus, because in the sitting in the front seat driving, you have obviously you've got a different feel. You know when you're going to brake, and you know when you're going to pull off. So you know that, but the passenger doesn't know when you're braking and doesn't know when you're going to pull off. So they get caught unawares. So if they're just walking to the back of the bus and you let go of the actual brake, the bus will just go forward. On this particular model, that's what it does. So today, when I was picking up some passengers, didn't pick up much people, and I remember a couple of people walking to the back, and you can tell, you take your foot off, you see them sort of as if they're running forward because the bus is moving. So what I always do is I check the person's holding on before I do that. Now the reason I do that, because that's what we're supposed to do. That's transport for London's, what do you call it? That's their standard. But also I'm a passenger, as I keep saying. So as a passenger, you don't feel good when you're walking on a bus and you've got a bag of shopping in both hands, and the driver then pulls off and you're falling over. So who feels it knows it. So as a driver, I feel it. I know what it is as a driver. I know sometimes as a driver, I don't realize how much I'm making the passengers uncomfortable. If I'm not, because I might feel uncomfortable. I might feel comfortable up here, but then are the passengers feeling comfortable when they're coming on or coming off? Even these buses, when people are coming off too, the braking has to be so gentle, because you've got people come to the front of the platform. Yeah, they come to the front of the platform here, and then as soon as you put your foot on the brake, the bus dips. So everything about this bus is like being gentle. That's if you regard giving the passengers the best drive you can. Obviously, everybody's different. Everyone, that's me, and I haven't always been like that. I've always regarded the passengers, but a lot more in the last few years. I put the passengers first. Yeah, I'm now at St Dunstan, Catford. The journey is not long on this 124. I think the timing, I left 0709 and I got it 0757. I was supposed to get it, well, I think I've been there about a minute, so 0756, so about 6 minutes late. I was imperfect, my headway was perfect. Let me show you what the headway looks like. So this is the headway on the MDT, the mobile data terminal, which is connected to the satellite systems. You have a bar that's divided into 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then what your aim is to be in the middle of the bar, and that gives you an equal distance in time. So that time could be 8 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on the time of the day. So, and depending on how many buses are on the road, and the actual depending on the length of the journey. So what that's divided into a period. So it's the period or the distance between you and another bus, but it's the time between you and another bus. That's the main thing. So in terms of traffic flow and so forth. So your aim is, as a bus driver, a new bus driver, you aim to stay in the middle. If you're a passenger and the driver says, I need to hold back 2 minutes, the reason why, or 3 minutes, the reason why he or she could be in the third bar or even closer, or even on the fourth bar. Now, this is given for the bus drivers to look at, and so this job is you're on your own, you're self-regulated. So we have to regulate ourselves. Sometimes I hear drivers say, well, the controllers didn't call me, and so they've gone close to the next bus, very close in this bar, and once you're in this bar, most of the time you're in visible sight of that bus, unless that bus is around the corner. So your aim is to stay in the middle. When I was trained, we was told that we regulate this, or we're the ones in control of it. So if you start dropping back, so you start dropping back, you're there somewhere. I was trained, this is what I was trained to do. You don't actually try to catch up the bus or try to adjust it in the middle. You might sometimes get a thing where they say to you, you wasn't keeping headway. That's normally referring to you being too early. If you're being too late and you're honestly driving, you're doing your job, you're lowering the bus, you're waiting for people to sit down, and you start going back, you're doing your job. Your job is not to try and catch up the next bus or try to be in the middle. That's not your job. Your only time you should try and be in the middle is if you're running early. And that's how it's supposed to work. So we are tempted, bus drivers, to catch up because it's like an instinct. We don't want to feel that we're running late. We don't want to feel that it's like we're in a competition. But we're not in a competition. We're in a service. Our service is to serve the passengers. So we try to, if we're running late, that's not our fault. Running late is not your fault unless you intentionally want to run late. If a person's intentionally holding back or just sitting at a bus stop really, really long, then that's different. But if you're serving the stop and then you pull off when the stop is served, and you drive within the speed limits between each bus stop, then you're doing your job, what TfL, Transport for London, requires. So passengers, this is why bus drivers hold back sometimes. And if you see 3 buses together, that's not supposed to happen. If you see 2 buses running together, that's never supposed to happen. Now, if a bus in front breaks down or had a really bad problem, a controller might say to the other bus, try and overtake that bus. But normally, when I'm driving, if I go 1 notch in, I should be thinking about holding back. And I normally do it. There's times when I don't, but that's indiscipline. I go to 3 bars, but once I get to 3 bars, I know I'm going to get closer than 3 bars. Unless the controllers told me there's a problem with the bus in front, then I might do that. So this is where we're at. St Dunstan's a really good school for, if you can get your kid into that school, I'm telling you, they're going to do well. My goddaughter went there. Very good school. Anyway, this is where I'm at. So we have 2 spaces two spaces you can see to park two 124s. This is where we start our duty here, and sometimes we start in Eltham. Let's have a quick walk around, see if anybody's left a gold nuggets for me or some money. Obviously, money has to be handed in. Nothing there. So far, it's been pretty good on this route. I don't mind the 124. I never used to like it at one point, but I think it depends on the mood. Sometimes you're in a different mood. But today's been pretty quiet. It's a very quiet. It can be a quiet route. The busiest part of this route is in the town centre. Just a few stops from here. Catford town centre. Sometimes you get a big pickup of shoppers. You know, people going home from shopping, or even workers around about 4 or 5 o'clock, them time 6 o'clock. But generally, it's in between. It's pretty quiet. You don't get much people going through the estate, which is in Eltham. They tend to take the 126, which is the bus that goes straight to Eltham, rather than going around the back of the estate. King's I forgot the name of the estate. Yeah. So as I was saying about the bus driving these buses, if you're sitting there at the back, if you're sitting here on the wheel arch, I mean you're literally on the wheel arch, then you're obviously going to feel a lot of bumps when you're going up and down. And so for me as a driver, I try to go over them bumps as nice and slow as possible. When I was a new driver, you're tempted to drive so fast, you feel so bad when your headway you're falling back on the headway, as I explained, and you just have this urge to drive the bus faster, and you know that to get over them humps, if you can what I used to do, speed towards them and then brake and then go over them slowly, but even that can be a bit uncomfortable for the passengers. I remember one time, over a certain, what I'm saying is, I remember there's a time when I just started to slow down and just try to do the job, drive the bus comfortably. I remember a woman commenting on the 124 saying that was just a beautiful drive. She felt so comfortable, because a lot of the time she doesn't feel comfortable. She feels like she's been thrown around. These buses, got the body rolls a lot, and so that's why I say to my mates, these buses are harder to drive than the double deck. The double deck is heavy. It sits on the road. It's solid. You know, and you're on main roads most of the time. Where these ones, the difficulty is giving the passenger a good ride. And if you don't care about that, if you don't care about giving the passenger a good ride, then you could it's easy to buzz around on these buses. These buses are a nice little fun bus to drive. If you're driving it as your sports car, then you could actually just have a lot of fun with this bus, bombing up and down, taking corners sharp. But I'm telling you, passengers won't like you. They won't like you. Anyway, I better get back. I'm back at Southend Crescent. I left 1 minute late, and I'm actually got here at 8:55. So that means, and I should have been at 8:50, so I'm 5 minutes late. Now that's not down to me, because I was driving according to the speed limit. Tell you the truth, to be honest, I drive over 20 in the 20 mile an hour zone, but not excessively. I never go over 25, about 23. And I was picking up passengers. No, there was no problems with the passengers, no issues. And so if that's the case, then that means the timing is slightly out, not for me, but for the actual trip. And they can't get it exactly right. But what I realised, I'm not going to push myself to make the time by breaking the speed limit even more than breaking it already. So that's my policy. It may sound principled, but things I'm not that principled, because if I was 100% principled, then I'll be sticking to 20 exactly all the way. The thing is, soon all the buses would be driving within the speed limits because of the electronics, intelligent speed assistance, which is in some of the buses already. So no matter what you want to try and do, you're still going to be driving about 80 miles an hour, 20 mile an hour zone, and about 28 in the 30 mile an hour zone. So I've maybe try and get used to that. I think I have to try and get used to that, because that's what it's going to be like anyway. So yeah, I can't keep stressing this point that we have to just drive for the passengers, and we have to drive according to the speed limit. Yes, I'm going a little bit over, but I'm still late. So it's not a big deal. I'm not complaining about being late. I'm just saying, if we do our job the right way, then if every driver does that, then they will change the timings and shift it around so that we don't have to be tempted to rush or break the speed limit more than we should be. So this is South End Crescent, Eltham. The high street is just up there. So quick walk around and I'm going back out. I'm actually supposed to be going out now, but yeah, so I've done my 5 minutes. Even if we're late, bus drivers are supposed to do 5 minutes. That's according to the rules. But if you don't want to do the 5 minutes, you can still go out if you want to. But I do it all the time now. Very rare I don't do the 5 minutes. Unless I feel okay, I might just go straight out. If the iBus controllers ask me to, maybe it's okay, I will do it. This bus has the actual controls for the gears on the side. Yeah, that's my bus there. I just changed over. And that's in Catford. So I'm gonna head back to the garage now. So we take a service bus back to the garage, have my break, and then come back up on another service bus. And I think I change over, yeah, this side, going up to St Dunstan's College, which is Catford. That's so quiet compared to 136. There's a lot more people going to work on the 136. I think where the actual bus goes, the 124. When people are going to work on that particular route, they're normally going to Mottingham Station. So yeah, just a different level of people, really, in terms of quantity or numbers. Yeah. So it's going to get a bit more busier, I reckon. It's going to get a bit more busier, I reckon, later on. These are really good for passengers, showing the time. Not every bus stop's got it. Normally when our MDT is logged on, it's linked up to this on the satellite.
Yesterday I just got some antibiotics that you gave me, but before that, nothing.
It's Troublemaker. I mentored this woman.
Why am I a troublemaker?
Nah, because you're always causing problems with me. You're always causing... What is it? Eating?
Well, it is, because I'm going to talk to this young man. And I'll see you later. Alright then. Love you, bye.
So I remembered mentoring you. How long ago was that now?
Oh God. Oh God. Oh, many moons ago.
Is it? About 2 years? 3 years?
Yeah. I've been in this job
Jeez.
3 years, yeah.
3 years. And you stuck on the 124? You must like the 124.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because it's close to home, and if my dad needs me, then...
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I'm on here today. They put me on, I think, sometimes they give you a spare job. Christmas time normally. Yeah, it's been pretty quiet though, hasn't it?
It has.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. They're still out there with their shopping trolleys though. What are they buying?
They got all that extra money, innit?
Seriously, it's like, what are they buying?
Yeah. So have you been running on time or? I was late once. I'm early now at the moment.
No, I was a little bit early coming on this trip.
Yeah.
And he kept,
Oh yeah.
as they do.
My MDT wasn't working, so it's not even showing the bars. So I must admit I could have looked at the card, but I didn't. Yeah. So I'm so used to headway service buses, 47, innit? Don't have no times on ours, so you can't see it.
It kept bleeping me, and it's like, I can't be watching this and watching that. This is more important than that.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. So what would you say? Do you like this job? What from scale of 1 to 10? 10's being you really love it.
I'll go at 9.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
I'll go at 9 because,
Yeah.
you know, at the moment I'm plodding along and
Yeah.
it's.
Yeah. I'm about a 9 myself. I really
But
do like.
when I get bored with things, I have to go and go
Yeah.
elsewhere. But then it has to be the right amount of money for me to.
That's it. Because once.
Because
Yeah, go on.
Tesco's was very nice, but when the old man decided he was going, it was kind of like, yeah, it's Tesco's is nice and safe, but it's not paying the bills. So
Yeah. That's true. I love that.
there you go.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, you know, your name's gone from my head. I'm terrible. Pardon?
Carol.
Oh, Carol. Carol. Sorry, Carol. I should have remembered.
Hey, look, see, remember Christmas?
I know. Christmas Carol, yeah. Yeah. So what time are you at then?
9 past.
9 past. Where are we? What time is it
4
now then?
past.
Oh yeah, so I'm obviously after you.
Yeah.
There was 3 of us. I shouldn't even say that. I won't put that in there because I shouldn't have been here so early.
Oh no, it's just been piled up all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah. It's so early.
I don't know whether they're actually running on time or whether they're not running on time.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I was a little bit early, but
Yeah. I think I was about 10 early, I think. Only because I couldn't see my thing and I wasn't
Yeah.
looking at the time card.
but
Yeah. Anyway, I will see you on YouTube.
yes.
Or we will see you on YouTube.
That's
Imagine
nice.
that. Your face is going to be all
Oh,
over the
God.
world.
Oh my
Carol.
God.
Carol, you're
Oh my God.
you're-
You poor people.
you're famous now.
You poor people. Fancy seeing me. Oh my God. Dear oh dear.
See you later, Carol.
See you later.
Have a good one. Be
Yeah,
safe.
and you.
Be safe.
Yeah, and
See you later. Yeah, that was Carol. Really bad that I forgot her name, but I remember mentoring her 3 years. I can't believe it. She was pretty good actually. I remember there was a guy before her learning this route, and we was on the route all day, and this guy was still making mistakes. I remember the last trip I said to him, okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna tell you nothing. Don't even ask me about left or right. I want you to just put confidence in yourself. And he was going fine 90% of the route, and then he decided to do a right turn when he's supposed to do a left. I just had to call him because I didn't want him to go down this road because it would have been hard to get out. But that's what it's like mentoring. Yeah, it's good though. It's good. Carol actually likes this job. 9 out of 10. Well, number 9 is 10 is the highest, and 9 is really good. Yeah, everyone's different. Some people it's just a job for them, just to pay the bills, and they might hate it. Might get up every morning. Oh God, I don't like doing this job. But some people they persevere for years and they don't like it. But I think the average person must like it to a certain degree. Hopefully more. I will talk to more drivers so we can see, how they enjoy the job or if they don't enjoy the job. I know I enjoy it. Only time I don't enjoy this job is if I'm tired. So obviously you've got to concentrate your driving, and if I'm stuck in traffic and I'm really tired and I want to get home because I'm just tired, not because I don't like the job, it's just that my body's not keeping up with what I'm supposed to be doing. So other than that, good job. I must admit, today's gone really quick.
Yeah, good morning. This is a message from an MCC. We are currently accepting ticket holders on behalf of Docklands Light Railway in the entire south and east network. This is due to signalling faults in various locations. Your prepaid number will be 746. So once again, we're accepting ticket holders on the entire DLR network, entire south and east network, sorry. This is due to signalling fault. Your prepaid number will be 746. Many thanks, NMCC out.
Did you hear that? Let me tell you something. This is to the public and it's to my fellow bus drivers. We are the heroes of London, and in every city where we drive buses, we are the heroes. Because every time these trains break down, who do you think's taking the passengers? Who do you think is taking the load? We even got a code that we stick into our machine so we can accept the tickets of these people travelling from whatever part of the railway track that's gone dodgy. Sometimes there's too much rain on the track, too much snow, the wrong type of snow, signals have gone. I remember one of our controllers and a management, what do you call it, MMCC management.
Good afternoon.
Here they go again.
The MCC from mobiles that use Camden Road, junction of Hilldrop Crescent, N7. That will be just before the junction of Brecknock Road, Hall and York Road. We've got a fallen down tree branch on the pavement. As a result of that, we've got some pedestrians walking into the road to get around it. If you're heading down that way, please exercise care and caution. Once again, that's mobiles using Camden Road, junction of Hilldrop Crescent, N7. We've got a fallen down tree branch on the pavement. Pedestrians are having to go around on the main carriageway to go around it. Just get exercise care and caution, please, if you're using that road. We have notified council. Hopefully they'll get someone to come and cut the tree off. Many thanks. MCC out.
Yep, London's always something happening in London. Trees falling down in front of buses. People losing, they're losing their kids on the bus. People losing their kids out on the street. People losing their elderly people because of sickness, which is sad to say. A lot of things goes on, and we get to hear all of that continuously while we're driving, because sometimes we have to look out for lost people. But let's get back to that train system. The trains are always going wrong every single day, and so we have a system within our ETM machine where we put in a code and that accepts the fares, because those fares has to be paid. TfL has to get that money back. You know, nobody comes on this bus for free. Even those people that's got free passes, someone's paying for it. If someone's paying for it. So yeah, this system does quite a lot of things. Let me start with the green button. The green button, when we press that green button, that goes to our local controllers. That's the controllers for Stagecoach for this area that we're in, South London. It's controlled from a place called West Ham. It's a garage, and they can communicate with us local things to do with our route and whatever. And so we have the white button is for the bus driver to communicate with the passengers. So that's a PA system. It's not a very good PA system, not as good as what you get on the trains, on the trams and whatever, but it's adequate, but it's not that good. The SMS is what it says. It's a send a message to the actual. Yeah, it's not going to work until I actually switch the engine on or switch the circuits on. But anyway, that's to send messages like I've got a toilet break, or there's a lot of heavy traffic, different types of messages. I will show you guys one day. The blue one is for when there's not an emergency, but something like there's problems on the road, and that goes through to MMCC, which is NMCC, Network Management Control Center, and that's TfL. That control center is for all of the buses, all of the different companies, because we all different companies working under TfL. And so yeah, so that's that. So that's for like things that are non-emergencies but are urgent, things that's gonna hinder your route. Even if you see a bus driver sees a bus stop that's been broken and it looks dangerous, you can report it. I've reported so many bus stops with things hanging off which can be a danger to the public. You can report those, or heavy traffic or accidents, you can report those. And the code red is for if you've been assaulted, you feel like your life's in danger, or somebody on your bus is sick, somebody is fainted. It could be anything that's a real emergency. You push that, goes through to NMCC, and they will contact the emergency services. I've had to use that a few times, but not often. In 9 years, I've resisted using it when I've had trouble. I've tried to sort of deal with the trouble myself. Most of the time I can deal with it, but I've had to use it a couple of times. But for somebody being sick, I've used it about 3 times, I think, and it's really good. Anyway, I'm going to be going now. It's my last trip back to Catford.